Real estate is a problem-solving business, right? I know some stuff and I'm learning some stuff, right, along the way. I am always open for education. I'm always looking to learn. What I know, I'll share. What I don't know, I will resource to the people that are my trusted sources, right? So there are no bad questions. There are no there are no silly questions. Everyone needs the same questions answered either now or in the near future. Believe me, for sure. So we'll have an accountability piece, the question and answer piece, and then some form of education. Like we'll bring in a timely subject matter, right? I want this to focus on uh, both how to solve problems in your business and also how to build your business too, right? So there'll be a kind of a balance of the two. But guys, this is a workshop, so it really is focused on your participation in it. I want everybody to feel like this is an open dialogue, and I will be here for it every week, right? As your guide through it. All right, so Mentee, the next little piece I wanted to talk about is that we have lead sources for you guys, right? I am a participant in a realtor.com program called OpCity. It is, I'll have a very honest conversation with you about it. These are not necessarily business defining deals, right? But they are a way for you to move your business forward on the tracks, right? It's about taking the information I've learned and applying it to a particular client. OpCity, the way it works is it's a gamification of the process. They will send you a text, as they will send to multiple people. You have to be the first one to respond to it. In that there's an accountability piece. The first few times that you respond and you get the lead, someone will call you from OpCity and guide you through the next steps, right? They'll connect you with the person or they'll tell you what to do next. The better you respond in that moment, the quicker and the more and pick up the phone for the guide or the mentor in that from OpCity, the better chance you will have of getting better leads, right? They measure everything you do. There's a few agents who have done it and have been very successful. There are many more agents who've done it and are not successful, and it's because they're just not attentive at the same level. So I would say I encourage you to do it if you're all in. Okay, if you're not all in, then don't waste your time, right? It's not a casual encounter. The flip side of that is that OpCity does take a very large referral fee. They take a 38% referral, 35% referral fee from you guys. But again, it's 65% of something you didn't have previously. If you're looking to kickstart your business, this is a great way for you to just really start that forward momentum, start to use some of the tools you have learned in Ignite. So if you're interested in that, I want you to send an email to Brian and he will get you registered for it. as well as I think you'll have to take an orientation class and so on and so forth, right? We're in the middle of kind of cleaning that up. And if you're not interested, that's okay too, because you're going to be focused on additional activities and relationship building that will help you going forward. Any questions so far?
Yeah, Joey, when you say all in, I mean, I think I'm all in. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is you're treating every one of those leads as a $3 million buyer, right? You have that same veracity to connect and to process, right? That you use the system. There's a whole back end system that you have to put in, put in updates on those clients, or close out that client, or right. So there's some tedious work to be done on that. It's not just like, grab and call. And a lot of the success of the agents who have been successful in this is their ability to follow up. Right. So yes, that first connection is important, but then all of the follow up after that is also very, very important. So all in means that you are going to treat it like the biggest payday ever, no matter if it's this small or this big, right? That makes sense? Any other questions about that or the mentoring program in general?
Hey, Joy, good morning. This is Damasio.
Of course.
I'm here in the office, so I have to congratulate you for this program, because I'm just gonna finish my first year in Keller Williams, and I wish if I would have had this class in my first or second month. And I've been working a lot on a lot of courses through Blair, NAR, Keller Williams, Christy Beatty, Rob Marin, and I think I feel more confident. But classes like the one I'm soon going to provide is going to be great for us, because naturally we need your help. We need your also your mentorship.
It's like what I was talking about in the shift piece. If you were in the office meeting in the shift piece, it's like sometimes you delegate to other people, right, in your business because business is so big, and then when business shrinks, you have to go back and you have to find out how things are really working, and so in that, I'm here to help you guys, but also you're helping me in teaching me how things are really working and what you really, really need, right? Because I think my listening is developed. That's what it comes down to. So let's talk about what has gone on this week, or let's clean the slate. Bring all of your, any successes that you'd like to share. Let's start with that. Anybody have a conversation that that they feel like they connected with, that they were able to be of value in? Any conversations this week where you felt like you could be of value, that you were serving up some value to the person on the other side?
I can share, Joey. I actually have been using the OpCity app, and it's been super interesting. And it's true what you say about it being tedious. You have to really be on it and always giving the updates and things. And I worked really closely with a family for about a week and a half or so, and we spent a lot of time together. And I feel like I gave them a lot of good advice. Eventually, I ended up not hearing from them, but I feel like it wasn't so much a failure. It was kind of like a learning experience. And I really did kind of guide them away from like risky purchases, at least. So I feel like I helped them, even though we're not talking anymore.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean? You're not talking. They ghosted you, or
they essentially ghosted me.
Yeah. And I, put them in your follow-up program.
Mhm.
Every week you text, hey, just checking in to see how everything's going, because there's lots of shiny objects out there, Ashley, right?
Mhm.
And you'd be surprised how people come back around. You'd be surprised. So great. That's good that you acknowledge the connection and your ability to give solid information, right? That's what I'm talking about with the Op City program. It gives you really that opportunity to exercise the information that you're gathering, right?
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything a conversation that it doesn't have to be monumental, guys. It's these small conversations that add up to the big results. So yeah, I'm not looking to be wowed. I'm looking to see that you are participating, right? That you're engaged in those conversations, as small or as seemingly inconsequential as I'm sure that's the way I would look. Oh, well, I just had help, but it didn't go anywhere. Okay, but there's
Two.
meaning in it. There's purpose in it.
Hey,
I
good morning or good afternoon, I guess. I had two. So I had one where I was just talking to friends about the neighborhood nurture, and I was like, because they were complaining how a realtor at their child's school was like inundating them, unsolicited inundation of emails. And I was like, I can totally get that, and that sucks. I was like, but I think looking at the neighborhood nurture on a monthly, maybe bi-monthly basis actually might be really helpful to you. And so they were super receptive of that. And then I spoke to someone who will be a client. They're getting their pre-approval paperwork together. And I just shared, hey, it's your journey. And they're prepared, but I think they can't be pushed, so to speak. And so I just said, this is your journey. You and your partner decide what type of home you want and how quickly you want it. You said October. Hopefully we can find something by October. And I just left it at that. And that was like helpful. And I just said, let's be mindful of, commute times and things like that. And they just were like, oh, I didn't even think about that, or things like that.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Number one is, what precipitated these conversations? You were sending out a neighborhood nurture of some sort, like you said?
No, I was at my friend's little girl's ballet recital, and they were just like, "Oh, Delon, how's real estate going? I know you're
Where
new."
big business takes place always.
Yeah.
Been
It was just,
there.
they were just like, "Hey, D, how's it going?" And I said, "Oh, it's cool." I was like, I was like, I have a little slow start, but it's fine. I just started my training. And they were just like, yeah, my friend's sister was like, yeah, at my daughter's elementary school, there's this woman who's like all over the PTA, and she just sends unsolicited emails all the time. And we're like, hey, we didn't sign up for this. And I said, yes, that can be annoying. But I just was like, but if she sends something like a neighborhood nurture where it kind of highlights what's going on in your neighborhood on a monthly by monthly basis, I was like, I actually think you should look at that. I think that's actually helpful. And they were very receptive to that.
Yeah, that's the kind of information you want. That's the kind of sharing you're looking for. That's a productive conversation. That moves the level of your relationship to the next one.
Right.
That's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to have meaningful conversations, be of service to move that gosh, it's not a client, it's not a lead. You could call it a lead if you want, but it really is to move the relationship to the next level, to get deeper in there, to be more a part of their life narrative.
Yeah.
Right? All of that information, you take it and you should chronicle it in their profile, right? You go back to the profile, you put it in there, and that's a starting point the next time you have a conversation, or you're trying to communicate with them through email. The more focused the conversation, the better, the more effective the conversation, right? Whether they need to buy or sell real estate, you should be focused on that. You should be focused on being of service, because in that, you're giving them what they want, and they're gonna search for a way to help you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't need to buy her silver. I said, but who does? Oh, but you know who Delon would really get along with? This person, because they're looking, and I think they're looking, and or they're unhappy with their where they bought, or whatever it is. They start to care about you, and they start to want to help you because you've helped them, right? And so that's great. It's great to know where that's happening, and that happens everywhere. It happens with strangers in the city opportunity, and it happens with people just in your daily footprint. Always just be cognizant of it. Just have fun with it. Have fun with those conversations. What else? Anybody else have a challenge or a success this week?
I have one, just a little something. I had a woman call me and she was looking to rent, but she didn't have a job right now because of she just graduated law school.
Yeah.
And she said like no agents were even like willing to help her.
You either froze up or I froze up. Oh, no, that's me. So I'm the only one moving.
And then, I ended up finding her a place where I did get her approved. So like it was like a good thing, and she was so grateful, and even said like she has other people looking to rent. So it's just like, one of those things where it could sound really like not a good opportunity, but then you can make something out of it as long as you're building the relationship, I guess.
I mean, you call me Pollyanna, whatever you like. I think that's a very positive example of, pouring into someone's needs. You filled someone's order. You helped someone where they couldn't, where no one would help them before. That is indelible. That person, if they're a person of character, will seek to help you in any way they possibly can. Right? And guess what? You learned some stuff. You did something you never did before. You went in and you found you solved a problem. All of that is great. So seriously, it's not to be minimized. That's exactly the kind of conversations I'm looking to have, because I'm looking for you to inspire Damasio or Michael or Wally, right? Say, oh, okay, well, yeah, I could do something like that, right? And that's what helps in that shared experience here. Anyone else have any challenges that they came across this week, or questions about real estate that I can answer?
Hey, Joey, I had a very interesting conversation with an old friend of mine. Back in those days, I didn't know anything about real estate. I gave him a call yesterday, and this individual has several properties in Los Angeles. And, it seems like he knew everything as far as I was concerned. But when we came to talk about the APR, he thought it was 2020 APR. I said, so Harry, hey, do you know what the interest rate is now? Well, he says, well, it's like 2.5, 3.5. He said, really? I don't think you know anything about it. I said, it's more than 5. He jumped out of the chair and started talking. That's the one that sparked our conversation in regard to real estate. And it's very interesting that a lot of people don't know about the interest changes that are taking place at this point.
It did happen very quickly.
Yeah, and he was more worried about something else, I guess. I don't know, but I had a couple of the conversation. Basically, to me, every single day it's a conversation of real estate, because right now I think I have developed a little more a sphere of influence, like Chris Bailey says. we talk a lot about real estate, at least, once, twice a day to my friends. And a year ago, like I said, if I spoke about real estate, look at me like, who's this guy? Right now, like you just said, we are a a great source of information. And I gotta thank you for that, because I tell you, as far as me, my real estate language has improved so much with the community that I serve. I will be serving, variety of people, but mostly Hispanic people, and it's been great in the last month.
Well, and part of that happens, well, I'd say most of that happens inside of you. That's a mindset shift in what your confidence in sharing that information and asking to be of service. I think it's an important shift to recognize. And if I could give each of you a gift, it would be just like, just going in and like pulling out that little piece of fear that holds you back from just saying, hey, I know what I know what I don't know. And guess what? I have the resources to find out anything you like. So it really is, it's empowering for you to start to see you start to use that information that you've gathered, right? Yeah, it's important. Anybody else have any challenges or any real estate questions? It could be either about the process of building your real estate or transactional questions. Anybody? No. Ashley, how's your lease listing?
So the number 1 quarter, the 2-bedroom, 1 bath, we have been having a heck of a difficult time leasing that out. We've got a lot of applications in the past several weeks, but they just haven't been strong applicants.
Yeah.
And so we've reduced the price twice, and we still don't have anybody. But fortunately, since we have the back unit that we're working on now, basically we've gotten a lot of leads for that. We have like probably 15 showings every day for like the next couple of days. And basically whenever I talk to these people, I tell them, oh, we have this other unit, that's much cheaper. And I just want to show you both units at the same time. So hopefully that'll bring somebody.
But your problem is finding quality lessees.
Yeah.
Well, where does the where are people coming up short?
It's like credit score seems to be the issue. Yeah.
When I was young, my credit score wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until it's like, oh, that's what it's for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it really made a difference. And so being someone who can, there's an opportunity in that also. In that you can be a resource for people to. It's like, hey, you don't have a great credit score, or your credit score, here's a credit fixer, right? Or something like that. Good people have bad credit.
Yeah.
Right. All the time. Good. So the more, you have that little, if you have that little trick in your bag of tricks, right? And it means nothing to you to say, hey, you're here, but you can be there. Here's someone who might be able to help. And or there's actually government agencies. I think I got started years back with there's a government agency that will help you fix your credit score, right? They review, they pull it, they review it, and they give you tips and tricks, basically.
Oh, thank you.
That was a long time ago. But
I'll look into that.
I know,
Thank you.
and you can reach out to Andy. Andy has a credit fixer that she uses.
Okay.
It's just like, again, it's a tool, and people don't even understand that they can fix it.
I mean, I didn't realize, like, I thought you would just have to start, paying things on time and bringing down your debt and stuff, but I didn't know there were other resources.
Sure, you have to do the, yeah, there's little tricks. If something's on there, you can rebut it. You basically, anything that's bad, you rebut everything, right?
Okay.
They have, there's a system in place that if you rebut it through the credit agency, if they don't, they have a certain amount of time that they need to respond by. I think it's like 15 days. If they don't respond in that time period, then the credit agency takes it off.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
useful.
there's some of that. There's some tips and tricks, and then there's paying your bills, closing out credit cards you don't use, that kind of thing. There's also that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else have a real estate related question that they'd like, or challenge, or whatever? Gabrielle, why do I always go Gabrielle? I can't, I'm so sorry. Gabriel, I saw you came on. Did you come on the screen because you had a question, or?
Oh, no, I just turned it back on.
Oh, good. All right.
I was snacking.
Good.
I didn't want anybody to watch me, but no, as far as challenges, no. I do have that current listing in Lancaster, and that one was a little challenging only because the market, as you know, from like, had I had the house, I had it in February, but we weren't able to list it in February. So that house would have sold, substantially a lot more. So I've had to have like 3 different conversations in price reduction, only because of the competition is so heavy. Houses are in Lancaster like sitting there for 40 days to like over 100 days. And so we had a price reduction. So we finally got it into escrow right now. So so I'm hoping that goes well and keeps running smoothly. But it was a challenge getting there.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, my seller wasn't too happy, but had we sold it, I mean, it was listed. There was a house just a block away, similar style, 550. It was listed at, or sold for 550. So we had listed it around that price, but then we ended up price reducing it all the way down to 460. Just to get some motivation. Yeah, just to get it moving. And I mean, yeah, even at that price, I mean, people are still picking now. So it's like, the ball's in the buyer's hands now. So
Yeah.
so it was interesting, but yeah, we got it going somewhat.
Did you are you getting a response to the price reduction?
Yeah. It's currently under escrow.
It is.
Got it in escrow, yeah, on Friday. So
Right.
so just hopefully all the machines are going
But
well.
you went from 560 to what? What was the
470?
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, the seller originally bought it when the market was down, so he bought it for like 180. So it wasn't.
Still,
so he made some money. Yeah, but he was hoping he'd take advantage.
he couldn't.
The tenants didn't want to move out.
He couldn't sell it in February because
the tenants wouldn't let us show it.
Yeah.
So those 2 months killed us. Because if we had gone out and were able to show in February, the price difference would have been so much different, but we weren't able to show it till May. So, and in May, that's when the market started kind of, taking a dip. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. Right. And he's fine. At least he's not angry at me. So I'm okay with that. So
well, you didn't create that.
I'm not creating that.
No. Yeah. You're just, you're trying to help him. And that's the best we could do. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And be honest and be knowledgeable. Right. Of what is going on too, right? A lot of agents, are in Damasio's friends space where they still think the interest rate is 2.5, right?
Yeah, no, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I will say that you know, us new agents need to take advantage of any open houses that there are, because I have had luck with my own, even my open houses, and I've been able to branch out from that, you know, a little bit. You know, I've been able to tank into, you know, grab some other leads and, you know, people that are interested. So, um, you know, so when there's an opportunity for an open house, I would definitely jump on it if I was like another agent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And, you know, and I will continue to put out the open house opportunities on your behalf. It's just, you know, as the market constricts, there's less listings, there's, you know, they're selling quicker. It really is I don't want to set an expectation that I can't fulfill, right? But I will keep putting out that opportunity. Louise has a question. It says, how do I start with farming after I have already found it? You mean already identified your farm? Right. So how do I go about it? I don't really know what I should do. And I have, that's a big conversation, right? But let's start with generalities. And in that, it starts with, you've now identified a geographic area that you would like to market to, right? And in that geographic area, there are people you know, and there are people who you want to know, right? Probably the second being a larger batch. You want to take people through the journey of moving them from to not known to known, and that means that they know you and they may know what you do, right? And that's a one-sided conversation, right? You're able to push information to them, but you're not having a dialogue. The goal for that stage is to get into dialogue, right? Is to have a two-way conversation. And then from that stage, it's to move to identifying a need through that two-way conversation, and then you know, earning the right to perform the service for them. In that, the starting the conversation is, how do I make myself known in this geographic area? So you have to do brand identification. You have to do brand building, I should say. And it doesn't, one activity does not do it alone. You need to do multiple activities. They need to see you in everywhere they turn their head, right? And so in that, I would say you want to door knock in that area. Door knocking is still a thing, and you know, it might be polarizing to some people, but most it's not, right? So being in front of them and just saying, you're door knocking not to get a listing, you're door knocking to start a relationship. This is the first day of our relationship. This is who I am, and I'm here to help. What kind of help do you need, right? It could be that direct, or it could be indirect through conversation, in being able to just get to know people, right? And to understand what they may need now or in the future, and to be of service. How can I help now for the opportunity someday? And so you're doing that over and over again. The more relationships you can have, the more connections you can have, the more people you can move from point A to point B, B to C, C to D, the more opportunity you will have in your pipeline. So that could be, you know, if you're choosing to do farming, be all in the play. So that means door knocking, that can mean some kind of newsletter for the area, postcard, item of significance, events, and social media. Boom. right? If Pete Bonacor, top agent, right? He decides he wants to build his business around his passion for golf. So in that, he joins the local country club, right? He gets the bus bench right outside the country club. He has an ad in the newspaper for that area, right? He sends out postcards to people in that area. He participates at a high level at the country club, right? Oh, he always become better at golf, right? If golf is your thing, if golf is your connector with people, then be good at it, right? Or good to great at it, right? And so he's working that, and then they ask him to be on the new member panel. Will you sponsor new members? Come in, when they come in, you kind of take them for a round of golf and you get to know them. Sure, I'll do that. A couple of years later, fast forward from showing up in the way he shows up, they ask him to be on the board of directors, right? Of course he will. And now he has, and then people see, oh, how you perform over here is the way you must perform in business. And you get that bleed over. So now from his geographic area, he is, in the country club in the middle of it. He is interacting with the people that own houses in that area. He has the bus bench. He has the newspaper ad that just, that on their own do little to nothing. But all together, it adds up. And it culminates in a brand recognition. So if you're going to do a new farm, make sure you want to be on people's doorsteps more in the beginning, right? You want the opportunity to just talk to them. You're not selling anything, Louise. You're just there to make a new friend, to see how can I be of service, right? If in the beginning when I started door knocking, it was so painful, right? Like, every door you walk up to, you're imagining what like horrific form of rejection waits for me on the other side, right? But when you divest yourself of the end result, right? There's no listing for me here. I'm not here for that. I am here to connect with someone and to see how I can be of service. Boom, that's it. That's it. I want nothing from them other than the opportunity to give them something. That's it. That position, like, just freed up my mind from fear. Taking that position. It freed me up to have other conversations, to go in deeper, to talk about their dog or the school that their kid goes to, or food, or things that I care about too, right? Share your passions with people. If it's a geographic farm, or if it's Damasio loves golf also, right? Or if it's around golf, or if it's around animals, or food, or alumni, or whatever it is, right? Going deep. There are planes of existence that people exist on, and that you can connect with. The example I always give is, I'm from Philadelphia, and if I meet somebody and they're from Philadelphia, like, we become kindred spirits. Like, never have I met someone from Philadelphia and said, "Oh, you're from Philly, I'm from Philly," and walls did not come down, right? And then we go a little deeper and we say, oh, you're from Philly, and where'd you go to school? Oh, you went to I went to that. And it's like, some more walls come down. And so that's what you're trying to do. Play that game. How you're seeking to find connectivity with people. Again, when you're farming, you're up against perfect strangers, right? But you can also go in take another approach and seek out groups of those people, right? and participate at a high level. Pete sought out groups of people who liked golf at the country club, right? And in that, he participated at a high level. Once you get in there, once you find that group, then be of value to that group. Be a leader in that group. Don't just, sit in the shadow and wait for something to hit you in the head. That's not going to work. Does that make sense? It's just a start of that. Like, farming is with many layers of, and farming is a long game, for sure, right? I had a question that one of my seasoned agents just sent me, which I thought was really funny. Hold on a second.
Hey, Joe, if I can add a little more about Pete Bonacore.
Sure.
The first time I walked into Keller Williams' office, I met with you, and I told you, I said, Joe, I play golf, and then you just mentioned that there's somebody in the office that play golf, and you just gave me the name, and I said to myself, I want to meet this guy. So I met at the country club where he's member at, but we didn't interact at all because our team beat his team. He wasn't pretty happy about it. So you talk about level competition level, and then just recently, probably about maybe a month or two, I had an opportunity to meet with him in person.
Yeah.
And then I spent, of course, I'm a golf caddy. I'm a professional golf caddy, and I do other things. Anyway, I was his coach for 4 hours.
Oh, I love it.
I was his coach for 4 hours, and him and another guy, and I tell you what, it's a very humble individual with a great heart.
Absolutely.
And has a lot of wisdom. So I won't stop until I scratch his back.
Well, and I love that, right? I love that, you were not intimidated by that,
No.
especially Pete. Pete, he looks a little crusty on the outside, but he's the sweetest guy on the inside, and he's looking to help in any way he can.
And you're talking to somebody who hasn't sold anything at all, but I don't give a damn thing. I just like real estate. And by the way, as I mentioned in the previous meeting with you, I am running a charity a golf event next year. So if any agent likes to kind of join me to promote it, I'll be more than happy to teach them how to do that and use the contacts that we're gonna have then. And hey, we can do business from there on.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with charities and things like that helps. When people see you acting like a concerned business person, that is good for the branding. Think about how it speaks to your personal brand, right? Excellent. I'm going to try, before we go, I'm going to share this one. This one question, because this came from a seasoned agent, right? And she said, can I sell a house with no appliances? What do you guys think the answer to that is?
Yes.
That's a simple answer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, can you sell a house with no appliances and the house is being sold with a loan?
I'm going to say based off my experience, yes, because I bought a condo with no appliances or anything. And
It didn't have a stove in it?
no,
Okay.
it had nothing.
Guess what? I don't know how they did that because it should have a functional kitchen and bathroom. If it is, and while a refrigerator does not dictate that, a stove does.
How about a microwave, Joey?
So theoretically, you can, if you're, cash, this bag of cash for the title, everybody's happy. There's no lender. Lenders will want to see a functional kitchen.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, it was a
and
condo. Does it matter if it was a
kitchen
condo?
and function, that's my understanding.
Does it
Joey.
matter if it was a condo?
No, not to me, but obviously you got away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got away with no stove.
Hey, Joey,
nothing. I had nothing.
Yeah. yeah.
question. So how about a microwave? Does about microwave constitute?
Would a microwave suffice?
No, no, because like the house that I'm currently selling, has no microwave or refrigerator, but it has a stove, dishwasher.
Just needs a stove and a working sink.
It has a working sink.
Yeah. And a working bathroom.
Yeah. Has three
So
of
if you
them.
have 2 bathrooms and one is, in the middle of renovation and you ran out of money and you want to sell it, you're good.
Got it.
The kitchen, some lenders will get a little, I've seen people like the kitchen was roughed in and they just like move in plug in an electric stove and jerry rig a sink. And that will work for some. Some will want the walls closed up. So it's really the lender is who determines what they will accept and what they won't. Delon, I would suspect that it never came up in conversation. Yeah.
I mean, they're like, it was a god awful, it was in horrible shape, but they were like, yeah, you're selling it as is. It was conventional. I mean, it was conventional loan. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. If they FHA is even
Tighter, I know.
tighter. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So,
interesting.
there are a lot of things. The basic rule is you could sell anything with 2 willing parties, right? You could sell absolutely anything. It's when someone, when someone else gets in the middle of the conversation, like a lender, and they're looking at value. Oh, I'm going to lend you 80% of the value of this property. You're going to put up 20%. We're lending it on its appraised value, and that appraisal doesn't really look at under the hood, right? Where the lack of oven would be is probably in the appraisal. Where the lack of functionality in a kitchen would be with the appraisal. The appraisal would see that, and I'm surprised that nothing came of it. But you have a lender who didn't matter. But outside of the lender framework, with the lender's criteria, you could basically sell anything, right? To a willing party is the bottom line. Yeah. Halfway completed, almost completed, doesn't matter. All right, guys. Any other questions before we go? Sign off. Before we bring you back next Wednesday. Is this a good time? Well, I think this is a good time. We're going to keep it that way. If I ask for everyone, it'll, suddenly not be a good time. But you guys all have my my contact information. Please, if you have any questions that are immediate, I want you to know yes, your mentor is a resource for information, but so am I. So is the broker of record. On the legal front, so is our lawyer. You have lots of access points also. If it's some functionality with education or don't forget, we have Scott Leroy, and we have the staff to help you guide you through questions. Use all the resources. Don't hide in the dark. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much, Joey.
Have a great week, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.